Hello everyone, welcome to the VTTDM channel. I am JW, the VTTDM, and today we're going to talk about a great way to spice up travel in D&D. Whether your PCs are on the road less traveled, a wilderness hex crawl, or a busy thoroughfare that would never see a bandit, this is for you. Now, I don't know about you, but my players usually travel by road. Well-traveled roads. And since they're high-level, bandits don't just cut it. So what do? I use the Travel Happenings table by MT Black. Now he's given me permission to do so, so I've put a link to the table in the video description below. Like I said before, the table also works great for any road or wilderness and hex crawls. I just happen to use it mostly to add spice to even the most mundane of travel. Here's a little about the most awesome MT Black. He doesn't have a YouTube, but he does have a great e-newsletter with awesome suggestions for blogs to read. And those blogs have great tips. And he's also written all the Iskandar campaign materials that you can find on DriveThruRPG, also linked below. But first, hit the like and subscribe buttons and help support me on YouTube. Set subscribe to all so you can see everything I put out, which happens weekly on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Now back to spicing up travel. Here it is. This is the table. As you can see, it's a simple D12, but the possibilities are endless. The 12 results are: loss. The party loses a quarter of their coin due to theft, carelessness, price gouging, or some other means. Trial. The party endures a physically or mentally draining trial, arriving at their destination with one level of exhaustion. Scar. A random character acquires a permanent scar. Obstacle. The group faced a significant obstacle. Anecdote. Something humorous or shocking occurred. Wonder. The party encounters a breathtaking natural or magical sight. Information. The party gains valuable knowledge. Players ask the DM one question and the DM answers. Surprise meeting. The group unexpectedly encounters an NPC from their past. The DM chooses who. Personal revelation. One of the characters reveals a hidden part of their backstory to the group. Treasure. The party discovers a cache of valuables, coins, gems, or jewelry. The DM sets the value. And magical treasure. The group uncovers an enchanted item, and the DM chooses the item. And do you know what makes this table engaging? Whenever you roll a result that says one character or a character, you roll to see whose character that is, and the player has to make up the story of what happened. If the result says it happened to the whole party, then they need to, as a group, make up that story. It's awesome. Let me give you some examples of the fun you can have with this. The last time my players had some significant travel, I pulled this table out, and here's what happened. We wound up rolling on it 2 times, right at the beginning of the session. The first roll landed on a character getting a scar, and the player in question described a hilarious scene where her horse managed to bite the back of her arm in a feeding accident. Apparently, the horse thought that she was made of sugar. The second roll was for finding a memento. The first roll to determine which player's character found the memento landed on a player who had a completely new character, and they just weren't ready to improvise anything. So we rolled again. Now the second player we landed on did have a story to tell. They came up with this hilarious scenario that wound up lasting half the session. Their PC saw a stick by the side of the road that reminded him of him and his childhood friend beating each other up dueling with sticks. The next thing you know, the whole party was armed with sticks playing King of the Hill. These were tier 3 characters. The rules were that everyone had 10 hit points for the purposes of the game, at which point they shout, "Ow, ow, ow, that hurts!" And then it's over for them. This combat literally took half the session, but the players Loved it. I mean, how often can you do PvP with no regrets at the table? Now, the PC who found the original stick, a Tabaxi fighter, was poised to beat the Kobold Artificer who'd miraculously survived till the end. But then the Tabaxi threw the match, pretending to take a dive that would make a soccer player proud. That upset a bunch of merchants watching from the side of the road who were betting on the outcome. What can we say? That's what happens when you're dealing with a fixed matchup. Both of those scenarios, the Scar and the Memento, were so much better than simply saying, you traveled for 3 days with nothing happening. It's uneventful. It's also great for entering a hex where no encounters are planned and no wandering monsters happen by. And it creates great opportunities for the party and your players to interact with each other, engage with the game by making up some stories in real time in-game, and just have fun in general. All this from a table that MT Black, creator of the Iskandar campaign, which you can find on DriveThruRPG, sent out to his email list, which I heartily recommend everyone here join, and that link is also below. I hope that you found the Travel Happenings table useful, or at least interesting. If you did, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and set it for all, and share it with your buddies. As always, may your games be full of glory. See you next week.